everybody to the Single and Stiletto Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima, and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have on our show Mr. Locario, and he's a dating coach for both men and women at MrLocario.com. And I'm so excited to have him here today because he's going to tell us the answer to the question of why men don't call you back. And I know every lady out there is just hanging on your answers. So before we jump into it, though, Mr. Locario, please tell our audience a little bit about you and how you became a dating coach.
Yeah, how you doing? So yeah, I'm a dating coach, dating and life coach. I really started by helping out my friends and my relatives get dates, help them with their dating lives. Because I was a serial dater, so I used to date around all the time. And then I started writing articles and making videos about this. And then a lot of people started emailing me for different advice. So I started making books and audios, and just snowball from there. So I've been doing it for about 7 years now, and it's been fun. I like helping people out.
Awesome. So let's jump into the answers of why men don't call you back. So can you tell us?
Oh man, are you ready? I don't know if the ladies are gonna like this, but okay. Well, one reason that most guys won't call you back is because he already has a girlfriend. So you might. Yes.
Do you see my reaction?
I know. So a guy, you might meet a guy. He's gonna talk to you. Meet him at a bar. He's talking to you. You go out on a date. And, you get together a couple times, and then for some reason he just falls on the face of the earth. And that's because he already had a girl. So he's, kind of cheating on his girl with you. And then he figures, okay, I got to stop calling this, you because I have a girlfriend. So that's one of the reasons, and a lot of people don't, tell you that, but that happens. You know what I mean?
No, and quite honestly, my audience does want to hear the truth. So
right.
As brutally honest as it is, we need to hear it. So what's another reason why men don't call you back?
Oh, man. Okay, well, you guys wanted the truth. Here it goes. So another reason that guys don't call you back is because he didn't really like you in the first place.
Well, that's
so
true.
I know. So so what happens is that sometimes a guy will go out with you, and it's mainly because, he wants to, get you in bed. And let's say if you guys do that, and then he'll stop calling you because he already, did it with you. So what happens is that after it's done, he stops calling you because he never really liked you. He just wanted to, get with you like that. So that's what really happens sometimes when you meet guys and then y'all do stuff and then he just stops calling.
So you bring up a really great point because I know
Right.
you get asked this question all the time. So I'm going to ask it to you from my audience because
Right.
they ask me this all the time is, when is the right time to sleep with a guy, though? Is it too soon by the quote-unquote third date?
No. And that's the thing, too. You got to understand this. And I'm glad you asked that question because a lot of women think, well, let me wait to sleep with him and then, he'll like me more. And then most likely, it's never like that. Like guys, it's not really about the sex or when you have the sex. It's about if he likes you. And this is why I say, because a guy doesn't need to like you to have sex with you. You see what I'm saying?
It's true. I tell that to women all the time.
Right.
Because you can disconnect from your emotions. That's what men do.
Right. So the thing is that it's not necessarily when you have sex, it's just that he wanted to have sex with you and then, he moved on. But a guy can have sex with you on the first date and really be into you and then, be with you for a long time. Like, my wife, for example, we got together within the first week, you know what I mean? So it was just like, and we've been together for 7 years. So, so it's not necessarily the sex. Don't worry about that. It's just knowing if this guy likes you. And the sad part is you can't really. There's going to be times where you're not going to know because guys, we're really good actors. We can act like we like you. And then you're going to be like, wow, he really likes me. And then he moves on. And that's just kind of like the drawback sometimes of dating, sometimes where you're going to run into guys like that, so.
Right.
It's a loss you might have to take.
Okay. So what's the third reason why guys don't call you back?
Well, the third reason I would say is that, and this is a thing that a lot of women don't realize, is that sometimes a guy is scared to call you back. He might be intimidated. So, a guy might either get, exchange numbers with you and then you'd be like, I never heard from this guy again because he feels like after he gets your number, he's like, well, I don't know if this woman's going to like me, and he's just intimidated by you. Or you go out on a date and he feels like, hey, I don't know where this is going to go. So instead of you sort of like not calling him back, he's going to be like, okay, let me not call her back. So at least it's me doing it instead of her. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's not necessarily it's not really a bad reflection on the woman. It's sometimes just him. He's not really, comfortable, really even engaging with you. You know what I'm saying? So that happens.
So let me ask you a question in that scenario, because let's just say a woman went out on a date with a guy, and because I hear this all the time too, is, oh my God, we had such a great time, I can't wait to see him again. He even said it on the date, but then she doesn't hear from him. Mm-hmm. In that type of scenario, is it okay for her to reach out to him?
Yes, exactly. I always advocate for that too. I always tell women, it's also good to show that you're interested, because you got to understand, a lot of times guys, we're so used to getting rejected that when we get a girl that we're interested in, or we like, we kind of do get nervous. We're like, okay, what do I do now? Is this and that, and it's kind of like, it's one thing for you to reject this when we first talk to you, but then it's like, while we have your number, while we're trying to set something up, and then to get that rejection later, it hurts even more, so it's better to show that you're interested in him, or you can call him and say, hey, what's up, because that'll make it a little bit more even, where he's saying, okay, yeah, I'm interested in her, she's interested in me, and then things can progress. So it's it's not a big deal for ladies to go and call the guy,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's another reason why guys don't call you back?
Right. Another reason too also is that a guy, he is in his player stage, and what the player stage is that a lot of guys go through a stage in their lives where all they want to do is have sex with a woman. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. You could be the perfect woman for him, but he's at the time in his life where all he wants to do is have sex, and there's nothing you can do about it. He's not going to call you back. That's just, he's on that. That's his mission. You're like one stop in his mission. And a lot of guys go through this, and they, usually between the ages of like 18 and about like 30, 35 maybe. And, in some cases, but
sometimes older.
Right. But guys have this stage where that's all they want to do. So you're not going to get a call back from that guy, because he's really just in that stage of just wanting to, go around and, do as many girls as possible, So.
Exactly. And ladies, when that guy doesn't call you back, he did you a favor. That's not the guy that you want to be with anyways in the long term. Right. Okay. So what's your last reason of why guys don't call you back?
Right. And the last reason, that guys don't call you back is because some guys just get with women for sport. So this is different than the player stage. So the player stage is when it's more about sex, and guys just try to get with you for sport. It's kind of like a practice thing. So guys will actually, go out and with their friends and, talk to girls, get girls' numbers and all this other stuff. But they really had no intention of calling you. It was just kind of like a game for them. So what they're doing is like, they'll go out with their friends. Oh, let me show you how many numbers I can get. You know what I mean? So that's really their thing. They're not really interested in calling you. Now, if they find you attractive, or they kind of like you, they might call you, or they might go out on one date with you, but it kind of stops there because that was never really their goal. So it's kind of like the player stage, but it's more so different because it doesn't even have to involve sex. They just want to know that they can get you, that they can catch you. Comedian Patrice O'Neal, he was talking about this one time where he was like, a guy wants to still know if he can catch, kind of like if you're a fisherman or a sports fisherman, you catch the fish and then you throw it back. So you're not catching the fish to keep it. You're catching the fish just so you can show your friends that you can catch fish. So it's the same thing with guys. Guys are like, I want to show you I can get all these girls' numbers and go out with these girls and never call them again. So that's what happens sometimes,
It's all about the male ego, right?
I know. I know.
Exactly. So, ladies, I know some of these answers were hard to hear, but I think it's good for you to hear these things from a male perspective.
Right.
So, well, these have been some great tips. So, Mr. Locario, tell our audience how they can find you.
Yes, you can definitely find me at my website, mrlocario.com. That's MrLocario.com. You can check me out there.
Great. Thanks so much for being on the show, and thanks everybody for joining us on the Single and Stilettos Show. Our show is available both in video format and podcast format. If you would like to view the videos, you can go to singleandstilettos.com, and if you would like to get the podcast, you can download it from iTunes. And if you would like to get our free report on the top 10 secrets on what attracts a man and what turns him off, you can click right here on the video, or you can go to singleandstilettos.com.